guys, I see all those little hearts. You're so sweet. I'm trying to get the YouTube guys up to speed. I may have to move it into my office. Hopefully, guys, this is working. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So Instagram people, we'll keep with your questions. Oh, yes. Book Show says, I like your Cancer crab mug. She's another, that's my friend Jen. She's another Cancer. Speaking of which, it says, Cancers are imaginative and moody. I don't think you can see it. It's probably backwards. Yep. Definitely moody. I've been that way this week. Kind of wanting to be on my own a little bit. Yay, you're back. Yeah, hopefully this connection will work better, you guys, on YouTube. If it doesn't, I'll go into my office and we'll do it from my office, and I won't do this again, that's for sure. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Hi guys. Creative Libra is floating over my keyboard to say hello and happy early Halloween. Happy Halloween, guys. I was saying that we had a Halloween party last night. It was fun. I didn't have I'm having a Halloween party on Halloween, actually, having some friends over. We're going to go walk through the neighborhood and look at the decorations and have a little potluck. It'll be fun. Loki. All right. Nello217 says, I have a question. If I do a candle spell to remove negativity if you do a candle spell to remove negativity from your life, black candle, do we have to then do a white candle with or for protection? No, not necessarily. If you are not feeling, if there's no attack that's going on, let's say, for example, I'll give you an example of when you wouldn't do a cleansing or a removal or banishing and then a protection. Okay. Let's say you have a person in your life that you want out of your life. So you would do something like a banishing to get rid of them, but you wouldn't necessarily have to do protection. So that negative person is gone, but you don't have to do protection because they're not necessarily attacking you. They're just a drain, or it's like an X or something like that. So there's a banishing or cleansing work that you could do that doesn't require a protection. If someone is attacking you and there's some negativity where you're getting an attack, then yes, you would put a banishing and then a protection. So, or a cleansing or removing negativity or energetic purification, and then you could follow up with protection. But here's an example. You could do, for example, if you, one of the things that I love to carry around with me is Van oil. And Van oil is an amazing oil for cutting and clearing negativity and bringing in positivity. So if you have some kind of encounter with someone out in the world, that maybe someone has a road rage thing at you or something like that, you can take that Van oil and put it on yourself to clear that negative energy off. But you don't have to put a protection necessarily for some random thing that's out there. Protection is only necessary if you're in a place where you are feeling threatened or there's some kind of threat. So if you are wondering if you need to do a protection around some kind of cleansing spell, then you probably should either do a reading for yourself or have someone do a reading for you so that you know whether that is an attack or whether that's just some random negativity. So that's what I would say. All right, so Omira says, question, what does it mean when you hear 2 knocks? What does it mean when you hear 2 knocks? I'm not sure what that is about. Do you mean you hear 2 knocks like, there's a ghost in your house? I'm not sure. You're going to have to explain that question a little more. Wendy over on YouTube, you asked the question about your locked door been opening, and I answered that question, and I'm not sure if you guys got it, but if you didn't get the answer to that question, then go over to Instagram, go to Madam Pamita, Instagram.com/Madam Pamita, and you can re-watch the beginning of this and I answer and tell you what to do. Then Mahek says, what's a good spell if you need someone to contact you? I just gave 2 talk to me spells, and those are the good ones to use. So check, if you didn't get it earlier in our session, then go check over on Instagram. All right. Millie Perez, hello. How do you take away voodoo? Voodoo is a religion, so I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean a curse, if what you're asking is how do you take away a curse, then cleansing work is great. And what I would recommend is excellent sort of general cleansing work when we want to get rid of a curse or some kind of negative spell that's been done on us. Then I recommend doing a cleansing bath. You know, the specifics, if you have a situation, Millie, that you need to look at, then again, you guys are asking kind of questions that are like maybe personal questions, but about your life. And you may want to get a reading and some specific advice for yourself. But in general, getting rid of negativity and especially getting rid of curses, you can do an uncrossing bath. An energetic purification bath. I sell energetic purification bath crystals up on my website. Those are really, really great. You can use those and have a series of 3 baths. And then, I mean, I'm saying that because I don't know what your situation is, but you could start with a series of 3, go any number of consecutive baths. So 3 baths over 3 days. Or you could do a bath every Monday, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's another way of working. Probably a good idea would be for you to look into my cleansing bath how-to guide. So if you go to parlorofwonders.com and you go to under instructions, I have how-to guides, and there's a bath crystals how-to guide on how to work with bath crystals, and I give all that information there. That might be a good thing for you to do. But in a nutshell, what you want to do is when you have a situation where you have somebody working against you, sending you negative work, sending you negative spells, you need to do a cleansing around it. So the cleansing would be a minimum cleansing would be 1 bath, but then you can move into other magic numbers and do 3 consecutive days in a row or nights, 7, 9, 11, or 13. So what I recommend people sometimes is if they have some negativity, start with 1 bath. And if you feel like your situation is resolved after 1 bath, then you can stop. But if you don't, then continue on until you've done 3 baths. And if you feel like your negative situation is resolved, you can stop there. If not, go on to 7 baths. Then go on to 9, 11, or 13. Okay, those are those sort of key numbers, magic numbers for doing that. 13 is really the maximum you need to do for any. I mean, the most difficult situation will be resolved by doing 13 cleansing baths in a row. And you would do those over 13 consecutive days and have that happen, have that work for you. All right, so let's see what we got going on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. Poor connection, it said over on Instagram. Oh my God. I'm in a vortex right now. Not a good one. Can a spell bring a relationship to you that's same sex, even if the person hasn't come out, that's truly their nature? Yeah. You could, that's a good question. So Ismael Serrano asked a question for a relationship that's a same sex relationship. Sometimes I have clients that want to have a relationship with someone and they're either not sure if the person is gay, bi, or straight, or curious, or asexual, or what. They don't know. So if the person, what in that situation, which is not what you're talking about, Ismail, but in that situation, you really cannot take someone who is, if they're straight, and make them gay. Likewise, you can't take a gay person and make them straight. Could you have them have a random sexual encounter? Depending, possibly. That again is probably a question for a reading to see how open they are to that relationship. But that in those situations, I kind of say, well, look at yourself and your own sexuality, and could someone get you to do something that you are don't have an inclination in that area? Maybe not. It's more of it's difficult to change someone's inherent personality. I don't believe, like, I am not a believer in that pray the gay away, and if you're gay, you just ask God to make you not gay and all of that stuff. I celebrate all of our expressions and everyone's individual expression of their sexuality. So to try and make someone they're not feels it feels nigh on impossible to turn someone into something that they're not. So as far as someone who isn't out, then you have a situation where they have to have their own either awakening, like they're gay but they're not out, their own awakening, their own confidence. There's other issues that are there. Their sense of safety and security. They're coming to their own courage and telling people who they are and expressing themselves out in the world. There's a lot of things that go into that. So, you know, just a sort of blanket thing that I would say is before you do any kind of come to me spell, you might want to do some spell of like road opener, which is to open up situations that are blocked, like open up that person to their own beauty of their sexual expression. And then you might want to enhance that with some kind of supreme confidence candle so that they have the strength and confidence to be who they are in the world, you know, and feel like not like they have to hide. So before you would even do a come to me or a fall in love with me, I would do something to get them to be open up their horizons with a road opener or open roads candle, and then get them to be confident with a supreme confidence and burn those two first. Once those are complete and you start to see this person feeling more who they are and being more out with who they are, then you can do that come to me spell. And then you can have a really great foundation for a really strong, healthy relationship. Because I will say this, that I think that overall, being closeted is harm. If one partner isn't closeted and another partner is closeted, that sense of worry and paranoia and trying to hide can be hard on the relationship for the person, for both parties, but especially I think for the party that is out and the one that isn't out. Them not being out means that they cannot acknowledge your relationship, which is kind of, it makes your heart sad for most people, you know? So I think I would help that person to be able to express themselves as they are in their truth by working with that first and then working on that love stuff. So that's what I'd recommend. Okay, so going over to YouTube, Gunnut says, hello, any thoughts on herbs, oils, days, or ingredients for a court case spell? I'm not guilty of anything. Not that kind of court case. Okay, so, okay, so it's, you want to do court case spell like you're going to court, but it's not about guilty or not guilty. It's maybe like some kind of money issue or something like that. So I mean, there's definitely oils that are, there's an oil that's used for court case, which is court case oil, which is great for court cases to find things in your favor. But you can also enhance that court case oil, like if you're going in, someone has a lawsuit against you and you have to defend yourself, or you have a lawsuit against someone else, and there's some kind of competitive you against you versus someone else kind of energy, then you may want to also use I can, you can't oil, which allows you to have an edge of some kind. Herbs for court cases, general herbs for court cases are tobacco. Another good one for court case is dill. Another good one for court case is Cascara sagrada. Another one, what one am I not thinking of? It's good. I mean, if there's money involved, you can use chamomile or calendula. What else would I recommend? Gravel root is good for court case work too. So those are all kinds of herbs that I would use. Grain paradise that I would use in court case, depending on what the court case is. So general court case work, you can use court case oil and tobacco and dill. Those are great. If your court case has some specifics, like it's a lawsuit with money, you could add money herbs. If it's a child custody thing, you could use calming herbs. You know, so think about what is the energy that you want to happen in your court case beyond just winning the court case? That's what I would think about. And then go to those herbs for those purposes. But without knowing, that, again, not knowing your details, I don't know, what specifically would be helpful. But there you go. There's the general court case stuff. You can use a scales of justice candle, which is for justice. You can use a truth and justice candle. If you are right, someone else is lying, and you are telling the truth, you can use truth and justice so that the truth will come out and the truth will win in the court case. And then the scales of justice candle so that the outcome is fair. All right, so going over to Instagram, I read when you remove, you have to put in. Oh, I read when you remove, you have to put in, or vice versa. So if what do you recommend with the protection candle? Oh, I think what you're, this is Nella 217. I think what you're saying is, I read when you remove, you have to put in. Oh, so when you are doing I talked about working a complete moon cycle spell. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe if you're working when the moon is waning right now, like the moon is getting smaller, would do work to clear out something, and then after the new moon you would do work to bring in something. I think that's what you're talking about. It's not necessary to do that complete cycle of the moon or that complete spell work where you're releasing and then bringing in. It's nice to do, it's really complete, and it's really setting a good foundation. But you could also just burn a candle for what it is that you want without doing the cleansing, without doing the clearing away. So you could do a cleansing, and then if you wanted to, let's say, for example, you did a cleansing to get rid of negativity. If this is related to that question that was before, you could cleanse away the negativity and then bring in prosperity or blessings or love or protection or anything else that is a bring in kind of spell. So that's what you would do if you were going to do a full cycle. First cleanse and then bring in that. Yes, that's what you would do. But you don't have to do protection. Yes, if you feel attacked. Yes, if someone is after you. Yes, if you've got some negativity going on, for sure. Okay, so over on YouTube, Sandy Rodriguez says how to do a reconciliation spell. Reconciliation work is fairly simple to do, but you have to be sort of pay attention with reconciliation. This is the complaint of a lot of root workers, and some of them will not do reconciliation work because of this. When you are apart from someone, if you have a cycle of some kind of, if there's some repetitive cycle going on with a couple, meaning you argue about money, let's just say that, and you had an argument because of some money issue and you're not speaking to one another. If you reconcile, you can get back, as a root worker or even as a magical worker yourself, you can get you and that other person back together again. But if you don't address the issue, the underlying issue of the argument could flare up again and cause the same breakup that you had before. So with the reconciliation work, oftentimes it helps to have a clearing, cleansing, reset button with that kind of work. And that you can do at the same time. An energetic purification candle and a sweet reconciliation candle burned side by side are quite powerful and potent for doing this kind of work, because you're releasing all the old stuff and you're not going to bring back, get back together and say, remember when you did da 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 da, and then start that argument again. So you want to break the pattern. If you see that there's a pattern in the relationship of fighting over the same things or things, the same issues coming up over and over again, you can do reconciliations over and over and over again. But if you keep having the same argument and keep breaking up, I mean, what good is that, right? So I recommend doing some cleansing work along with the reconciliation if there's a repetitive thing that's going on with this relationship. So simple reconciliation spell, sweet reconciliation candle. If you need to add that cleansing so that you don't repeat the same cycles again, then an energetic purification candle along with that sweet reconciliation candle would be excellent. Okay. See, we got on Instagram. Hi. Oh, Justin St. Clair Makeup. Hi. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh, all you guys over on Instagram. So good to see you. Okay, Rosie G 2426. Could a spirit guide be a dream catcher? The dream catcher tradition is one of the tribes of the Native American tribes tradition. And I'm not sure if that's a spirit. I don't get that that's a spirit. I get that it's a tool rather than a spirit, but I may be incorrect because I'm not Native American. I don't follow Native American ways, so I'm not sure. But it sounds to me like a spirit. I mean, from my perception, a spirit dream catcher is not a spirit per se. It's a tool. So could you say that there's a spirit to the tool? Maybe, but it's not really like a spirit guide. You might want to listen to my podcast episodes about spirit guides to understand more about what spirit guides are. Yes, you could see your magical tools have a spirit to them, but they're not that same kind of spirit like a spirit guide. It's a little bit different. Spirit guides are more like entities that communicate with you, and a dream catcher is more like a tool for, I would say, purifying your magical space. And purifying your dream world and what happens in your dreams. But I could very well be wrong on this one because this is not my tradition and not my practice. And I don't know all the ins and outs of dream catchers. So maybe it's time to study more about dream catchers and know if there's an actual spirit behind them. I think it's just a tool. All right. Over on YouTube. Anne popped in. Hi Anne. What's a good spell to help keep a job? That's a good question. Most people are trying, for something better, something more, but you want to keep your job. I would say what would be helpful for keeping a job would be putting protection oil on yourself. You want to stay someplace, you want to be protected, you don't want to lose your job, you don't want to get fired, and so on. So simple protection oil, a couple drops on your hand, powerful protection oil. You can put a couple drops on your hands, put it on yourself in an upward motion, right? Up, up, up. And do that every time you go to work. You might also want to work with some crystals in your workspace if you can. Either carry some small crystals with you because crystal energy is steady rock energy. It's like steady solid energy. So black tourmaline is a great crystal of protection, but you could also use, for example, hematite, which is also a nice steady root energy, root chakra energy crystal, or another good one would be pyrite because it's about your money and your income. So, you might make a little charm bag with a black tourmaline, a hematite, and a pyrite, and carry that with you when you go to work. Put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, leave it in your desk, whatever, so that you keep your job. I think that, along with some protection oil, would be a good spell for keeping your job. All right. Let's look at Insta. Hi, guys. Oh, okay. So Kimberly T. Myers asks, hi, wondering what best sachet or mojo bag for a trip to Vegas? Well, I'm guessing you're going gambling if you're going to Vegas. So if your mojo bag is about, if your mojo bag or your sachet that you're looking for is for having safe traveling, then safe travel oil or safe travel sachet or a safe travels mojo bag would be what I would focus on. But I'm guessing because you're going to Vegas, you're going gambling. So here's how to make a gambling mojo. Gambling mojos are fun to make. I love making gambling mojos. I like to gamble a little bit, not excessively, but I like to go. My favorite is going to the horse races. I love going to horse races. So to make a gambling mojo, there's a few curios that are kind of very specific to gambling and gambling luck. So you get a little red flannel bag You can purchase the red flannel bags on my site. I think they're $4 for the bag. And then you could, or you can make a little comet style mojo bag even without making a bag. The comet bags, I show how to do those on my YouTube channel, how to make a comet style mojo bag. Or you can find it on my hoodoohowto.com page. Just go to hoodoohowto.com and you'll find my videos. So the basics for making a gambling mojo bag would be getting a nutmeg, getting a mercury dime. So a mercury dime is a dime that has the winged Liberty. They were made in the U.S. during the teens and the 20s, and they have like a picture of Liberty with wings on her head that looks like the god Mercury. And so you could have that mercury dime, a nutmeg. And what else would I put in there for gambling luck? You could put money. I would put some of the money herbs. So like chamomile or calendula or, basil, blue flag root. It's a great one. Those are all kind of money herbs alkanet to protect your money. Those are ones that I would work with in particular. What other curios would I recommend? Yeah, those a piece of, a lodestone to attract that good luck and a pyrite to attract that money luck. So those are the things that I would put in a bag. You can bless it with oil that is particular for your situation. So if you're playing a game like Keno or Lotto, you can use Lucky 13 oil. If you are just gambling in general, you can use Lady Luck oil. That's another good one for gambling. There's also Good Luck oil, Lucky Mojo oil, Lucky Buddha oil. Those are all good oils for luck. But the one that I particularly recommend overall, like gambling luck oil, is Lady Luck oil. That's a great one for that. You can rub that on your hands before you go gambling, and then go to it and have good luck. I see great, a really well-worked mojo bag, a gambling mojo bag that is done right, can have a very big difference and a big impact in terms of walking away with winnings. I've done loads of experiments with going to the races and not having a mojo bag, and going to the races and having a gambling mojo bag, and seeing the difference in my winnings for sure. Like the days that I don't bring a mojo bag, if I, experiment in that way, I don't walk away with any money. And the days that I do, I definitely walk away with money. So it's good to have that edge, and so the mojo bag can give that to you. All right. So let's see. Love Island. Does a return to sender stay away from one after they have done it? Okay, so Love Island is asking about a return to sender spell, which is another name for a reversing spell. So let's talk about what reversing spells are used for. So reversing spells are used when we have someone who, for example, is sending some negativity, and you want to do some very clean work and reverse that negativity or send that spell back to that person. So for example, if we had like someone, sending something to cross you up in some way, and you just wanted to like put a mirror and send that back to them, then you would use a reversing spell, or sometimes called a return to sender spell. Now, the one that I like to do as a reversing work is done with a candle, which is called a double action candle. So double action candle is half black and then half another color. So there's a half black and half white one, which is the basic one. The black part represents the removing, the clearing, the cleansing and removing of that curse. And then the white part represents the blessing, right? So you also have a double action candle that's black and green for money cursing, and for a black and red for any curses on or any negativity sent toward your love, right? I also have candles that are not double action candles, like a reverse negativity candle that's just about reversing and sending back that negativity. That's a vigil candle that you can burn. So that's an option too. But if you want to get into something more, something simple would be a reverse negativity vigil candle, ready to go. You slide it and send it back. A more complex way of working would be to do that double action candle where you cut the end off the candle, you turn it upside down, you carve a new top in it, and you do all this stuff. And I show how to work with a double action candle in my videos. You can see how to do that. But does it keep that person away? Well, what it does is it isn't about keeping someone away. It's about sending that energy back to that person. So let's say, for example, someone's sending you some negativity about your love life. You're having all these problems, and you get the sense either through a reading or through your own intuition that somebody is sending some negativity toward you in terms of jealousy or actually doing some work. So if you do a return to sender or a reversing spell, then you're sending back that problem back to that person. So it's very clean work to do on an energetic level because you're not doing a curse against them, just deflecting whatever they've sent back to them. If they're not sending anything to you, then they're not going to get anything back, which is fine, But if they are sending something to you, then they're going to get it back. What that usually does is it ties somebody up with their own problems, and so that they can't get back at you again. Meaning, someone whose life is good, they're sending you some negativity, now it bounces back to them. And now they have their own issues that they're dealing with. They probably don't have a lot of energy or time to focus on sending some negativity to you again and again and again. So it has that one effect in that way, that it ties them up with their own problems, kind of gets them all involved in their own problems. Does it prevent them from doing another spell against you? No, because it's not a protection spell unless you did a black and white candle and you put protection oil on that white part as you burn that white part. Maybe that would be the solution to that. But in general, it doesn't set up that wall of protection. But most people, when they have a reversing, get so involved in their own drama that they don't really have time to focus on you, and that's a good thing. One of the ways that we can do this, this is great. You had that question earlier about protection. We have this question about protection. And what I would recommend is that you guys, when you're dealing with something, like you're dealing with somebody pouring out negativity towards you, if you do your cleansing work, if you do your, does that mean you have to do protection all the time after that cleanse? Or you have to do protection all the time, protection work all the time after you do that reversing? No, but what you do need to do is have some kind of alarm system set up so that you have an awareness if they do send something to you again. So how you can do that is you can set up a protection charm of some kind. Now that could be a bracelet or necklace of some kind with a protection amulet of your own choosing. It could be a little charm, it could be whatever. But make sure that you have that necklace on a thin string or thin chain of some kind. Dress it with the protection oil, then set it and forget it. Now, if that necklace or that bracelet breaks, that chain or that string break, then you know that somebody's throwing for you again. Then you do a quick cleanse, you do a protection, and you're good. And you get a new necklace for your charm, a new chain for your charm, a new thread for your charm. And then you know you're safe and protected again. So that's a good way to work. And so that you're not, what you don't want to be doing and you shouldn't be doing is looking over your shoulder all the time. Is someone attacking me? Is someone attacking me? Wearing an evil eye charm is also really good too for keeping away that sort of negative energy. And those are those charms that have looks like a blue eye. Wearing something like that would be good. All right, or carrying something like that with you, having that on you or in your house, in your home. All right, so let's see what we've got over on Instagram. Let's see. Okay, Bee's Knees asks, spell for a new home. So not sure if that means you have a new home and you want to protect it and make it happy and everything great, or if you're asking you want a new home. Either way, there's a great candle that we came out with not too long ago, the house candle. This is a fabulous candle that we're the only ones that have it because we made it from an original mold, and it's a gorgeous candle. So there's a beeswax happy home candle, and I think it's called Happy House candle. You can use this candle for a lot of different things. So if you're a realtor, realtors are using it. This is what I'm getting feedback from people. There's realtors that are using it. There are people that want to buy a new home that are using it. There are people who want to sell a home that are using it. There are people who want their home to be safe that are using it, protected. There's people who want their house to be happy that are using it. So anything related to your home and the energy of your home, you can use this house candle for that. So the Happy House candle, you would get something that would be in alignment color-wise with what it is that you want. So let's say you wanted to make a love nest and have this house for you and your lover. You'd want a lot of love and passion in there. You'd get a red house candle. Or let's say you wanted your house, the people in your house to be happy, for there to be a lot of love in your family. You could get a pink house candle. If you wanted to cleanse your house, you could have a white house candle. If you wanted to protect your house, you could have a black house candle. If you wanted to sell a house, buy a house, or if you're a realtor and you want to make money from selling homes, you could get a greenhouse candle. If you wanted peace in your home, you could use a blue house candle. If you wanted to, if you've never bought a home before and you are having problems getting a loan and you want to have a breakthrough, you could use an orange house candle. There's so many ways that you can use these house candles related to homes. So if you want to buy a new home, then I recommend that you get a green house candle, Happy House candle, and then you dress it with, you could dress it with, prosperity herbs so that your money, your loan comes through, that it all flows super smoothly. So you could dress it with alfalfa, you could dress it with blue flag root, you could dress it with basil for like that energy of opening up your house, to opening up that new house coming to you. If you're wanting to bless your house, then you could get a white house candle and you could sprinkle angelica root powder on it, put some blessing oil on it and then sprinkle some angelica root powder. So that's the basic, that house candle is the basic foundation for you to build and add and do. All right. So YouTube people, my battery on my laptop today's been a technologically challenging day, is running low. So if I drop out, it means my battery ran out. I've got 5% left. We only have a few more minutes, so I'm hoping it holds out. All right, so YouTube people. Nefra Sinta, I keep having vivid dreams and a strong sense of connection with my ex. I found out that he is my soulmate. Seems difficult to move on with my life when there's a strong connection. Any advice? Okay, great question. We have a few more minutes. This is great. Soulmates. Let's talk about what soulmates are and the misconceptions about soulmates. Your soulmate is someone who is in your soul group. Now, unless you are a very, very young soul who has not had many lifetimes, the usual old soul person, who I will say that most spiritual seekers are old souls. The vast majority of spiritual seekers are old souls. So the vast majority of you guys are old souls, meaning you've had many, many, many lifetimes. And in those lifetimes, you've accumulated family relationship, friendships, lovers, et cetera, et cetera. And these people become a part of your soul group. So you don't have a soulmate, you have many soulmates, and your soulmates can show up in many different possible ways. Number one, they can show up, of course, as a lover, but you can have many different soulmate lovers and soul connections with different lovers. So just because this one is not available to you doesn't mean it's your only lover that's going to be around, your only soulmate. Likewise, you can have a soulmate who's a family member that you're so close to and you're so connected to and you love each other so much. You can have a soulmate who's your best friend. You can have a soulmate who's a pet. You can have a soulmate who's an amazing teacher, who's taught you something, who's shown you something, who's been deeply connected to you at the soul level. So don't get into this misconception that there's a soulmate and that's your one soulmate is your lover, because that is, unless you are I'm not saying it's not possible. Yes, it is possible, but it's only possible if you are someone who's only lived one prior life and this person happens to come back in the form of a lover, And then you could have one soulmate. But for older souls, you have many potential soulmates, and they show up in many different forms. That means there's more than one soulmate lover that's there for you. So if the two of you can't be together, having that acknowledgement and knowing that there is someone else out there for you too, the possibility is very strong that there's someone else out there for you too, that you can have that ambiguity of the two of you not being together in this lifetime and say, hey, we'll see each other in the next lifetime. I don't know your situation. I don't know. I'm not doing a reading for you, so I don't know what the story is with this. But you can the thing to do to help you to move on, to detach from that relationship and allow you to open yourself up to other relationships and other soulmates coming in, is to work with cut and clear oil. So cut and clear oil is an oil that we use to cut unhealthy attachments that don't allow us to move on. So if you are having what you feel are unhealthy attachments to your ex has moved on and is with someone else, and you can't be together, or your ex is refusing to speak to you or something like that, or your ex passes on, that also happens. People pass on and they go from physical into non-physical. You can't be together. Then cut and clear oil allows you to detach those painful attachments that you have to your ex and allow you to open up to someone new coming into your life. So don't get stuck on that notion of the soulmate being only one. You only have one soulmate. You have many soulmates, and your soulmates are, the more open you are about those soulmates coming into your life, the more happier you will be. So you don't want to make a mistake of closing off your life or shutting down because of one relationship that didn't work out. Be open, be open. All right, guys, so our time is up. I'm so sorry about all the technical difficulties, YouTube guys. We'll have that second video up, and the first one, I'll just delete it because it was so glitchy and weird. I'll see you guys not next week, but in 2 weeks on the 11th, and we're going to have a premiere at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time of a new video that I'm super excited about, working with color. So I'll see you then. Bye. And you guys on YouTube, I will see you again in 2 weeks on November 11th, and we will have, right after this, our Q&A session, we'll have a live premiere video on YouTube that we will all watch together. I'll be there. You'll be there. We'll watch it together. And I think we can have some kind of live chat. There's some kind of something that goes on with it. We're going to try it out and see how it works and see if we like it. But I think it'll be fun to watch the video together. And if you have any questions about the video as we're watching it, you can type them in and I'll answer them right on the spot. So kind of fun. So I hope to see you there on the 11th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. I'll see you at 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube for our Q&A on the 11th. Okay. Have a beautiful, beautiful, happy Halloween. I will see you in a couple of weeks, and have a great, great Halloween. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, and tell me about your costumes in the comments on this one. I'd love to hear what you're going to dress up as. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.